This is the Logitech Blue Sona microphone. It's a premium XLR microphone targeted towards streamers, podcasters, and content creators. It's supposed to be user-friendly, but is it really if you're an audio noob like me? For a really long time now, I've wanted to get an XLR microphone set up, but I knew very little about it and I didn't really know where to start. I always kind of shied away from it because it looked like the process to set it up was very complicated. I originally started off with a Blue Yeti microphone. I had sold that, unfortunately, a while ago, and recently I've been using the Rode Wireless Me Go microphones. And they do work. You can use them with your computer, but they're more suited for vloggers who are doing like run and gun videos, walking around and stuff. So it didn't really fit my needs. I like to do, or I want to do, podcast type videos, talking head videos, and game streaming type stuff. So instead of just buying another USB microphone, I was like, okay, let's try this XLR thing out. And after doing a bunch of research and narrowing it down to a couple, I settled on the Blue Sona mic. I picked the Blue Sona mic mostly for two reasons. First of all, I like the way it looks. I think it looks cool. I think it has a very unique look, but that was the first thing that caught my eye initially. I was like, wow, that's a cool looking mic. You know, it's got this, I got the black one. It comes in two colors. There's a white one, and it has like this like matte pearl finish. Like there's like a sheen to it. It's kind of hard to show on camera, at least on my camera, but it looks great in person. I like the fact that it has a built-in, what do they call that, shock mount. It's easily adjustable, and everything just kind of stays where you want it. It comes with two wind socks, I think they're called. This black one and an orange one, so if you kind of want to mix it up, you got options there. But that was the first thing that really caught my eye, so to speak. But I had to figure out, did it sound good? So watched a bunch of reviews, and after seeing the reviews and listening to them and reading about it, I settled on this microphone because I really like the ease of use factor. It's a low barrier to entry, so to speak. I really feel like Logitech really did their homework when they were figuring out who this microphone was going to be for, because it can appeal to a lot of people. It's great for beginners like me, but the sound quality is plenty good enough if you're a professional. Some of the features that the Blue Sona has are right here on the back. There's a little cover that comes off, and there's two switches in there. One is a bass switch, and I believe that's if you have a really bass heavy voice, it can kind of tone that down a little bit. And the other one is called like a presence booster, and I think that one's more targeted towards people who don't have radio personality voices. I think I fall into that category. I don't have a high-pitched voice, but it doesn't have that deep radio announcer type voice, that a lot of people like. It also has a built-in preamp. I like that a lot because it just makes the setup process a little more simple, one less item to buy. A lot of microphones out there, you need the preamp to kind of boost the signal. Otherwise, the microphone tends to be really quiet. I just kind of wanted to avoid all that, and that was one of the first things I liked about the microphone. I won't get into like the super technical stuff of like how the microphone's built and all that, because that's just out of my wheelhouse. But this does have a super cardioid pattern. That was something that after doing some research, I knew that's what I wanted from the microphone I was going to get. Basically what that does is it targets only the sound coming from in front of it and does its best to kind of cut off the sound behind it and on the sides of it. And it works pretty well in my opinion. I don't have a lot to test it against other than my little Rode mics, but it's a huge step up from what I've been using. The setup process is really straightforward. It comes with the necessary hardware to mount it to different types and different size boom arms. The XLR plug seems super solid. This is the first XLR microphone I've had, so I don't have a ton to go off there. Basically, you just plug it into your XLR interface, and you're pretty much good to go. It does work without 48 volts of phantom power, but if your interface has that, it's kind of makes it a little louder. I am using that right now. I have it hooked up to a Focusrite Vocaster 1 with the 48 volt phantom power on. Next, we got to talk about the build quality because it is so well built. Aesthetically, like I said, it looks great. If you like that simple, sleek industrial design, it's solid. Like, this is a very premium product. It has kind of almost like an Apple vibe to it. You know, like that, like, you know, when you pick up like an iPhone, the build quality is just so top notch. And this has that for sure, in my opinion. I almost wish I got the white one, but I don't, you know, everything else I have is kind of on the black or gray side. So I didn't want to like mix it up too much. So how does it sound? It sounds fantastic in my opinion. Like I said, this is my first XLR microphone, so maybe that's kind of how they all sound. I don't know. But coming from the Blue Yeti USB microphone and the Rode Wireless Me Go microphones, this is a huge step up. The sound quality is fantastic, and I haven't even tried to tweak it or tune it or anything. I'm sure you can make it sound even better if you really know what you're doing. This is pretty much set it up straight out of the box, plug it into my Focusrite, and done. Once I learn a little bit more about the settings and stuff, I will start tweaking it, but I really haven't done anything to it. This is pretty much exactly how it sounds out of the box. So who is this microphone for? Honestly, I think it's for beginners and professionals. If you're a beginner who is just getting into XLR microphones for your setup, this is probably one of the better options in my opinion. It's a tiny bit cheaper than some of the others, and the setup process can be a little bit easier from what I understand. And on the other end of the spectrum, if you're a professional and you already know what you're doing, you're going to get great audio quality out of this regardless. So I've had the microphone for about a month now. I've done a little bit of game streaming with it, and a couple of videos. And all in all, I couldn't be happier. I really feel like this was a great first choice for somebody like me who's just getting started with audio, particularly with XLR microphones and audio interfaces. It's actually made the process really fun, hearing the difference and improvement from the Blue Yeti and my little Rode Me, Wireless Me, or whatever, Focus. But it's really a great microphone in my opinion. I hope this helps you decide whether the Blue Sona is the right microphone for you. You really can't go wrong with it in my opinion. It's a great microphone whether you're a beginner or a professional. The sound quality is great, the build quality is great, and it looks fantastic in my opinion. Will you be getting the Blue Sona microphone, or will you be getting a different one? Drop a comment below, leave a like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.